Welcome, welcome once again, audience. This is Saline speaking, and today I'm joined by three beautiful people, except all of them are pretty ugly. First up, the man who's basically just brown. That's all he really has, and he can sort of write decent scripts. Introduce yourself, brown man.
Hello, people of the internet. Marcos here of Marcos the Ornac and Double Time. So, yeah.
Fucking. And God damn, that was horrible. Next up, a man who's known for being a terrorist, a Nazi, a general asshole, and pretty fucking gay. Introduce yourself.
I fucking hate you. My name's Koji Official.
Yeah. Today, Koji brought a guest. Introduce yourself, Tyrone, please.
My name is Tyrone.
Oh my gosh, you called it.
Street cred, motherfucker. And also, certainly not least, and also known as the man with the bushiest beard in the controllers. He's the only one that I would say has a better beard than mine. Go ahead, beautiful man. You earned it.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jess James, and welcome to the podcast.
All right. So today we have a few lists in our topic list, fantastically, and you can actually hear me properly, sort of. I don't know, probably not. Stop that, Marcus. That's not nice.
You're not
Kevin,
nice.
pay attention. Stop looking at your penis like always. That's bad.
No, that's a microphone.
Bad manners. Bad manners. No. I'm pretty sure you have that right next to your dick, so you have an excuse. You're expecting
I'm not gonna
your
have
penis
my
in your
dick
legs?
out next to my friend.
Why not? It's called common
Everybody's
courtesy.
doing it.
Yeah,
Everybody's
why
doing
not?
it.
That's fucking gay.
It's only gay
Hey.
to get an erection.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be weird if you don't get it. And it'll be weird if you don't get an erection, so, you want to be weird or you want to be gay? Or you want to be both if you get a semi? It's your choice, Kevin. It's your choice. Anywho, let's go off with the first topic.
All
How
right,
does that
so
make you feel, Koji?
I think we should continue on, and before we get to our list, we should probably talk about the videos we released for the week. Just talk about them.
Thank you, brown servant.
Yeah.
You reminded me. Yeah. All right, talking about our list. Marcus, start us
Yes.
off, boyo.
Okay, so yesterday, Double Time released its first video game commentary of the Beatles Rock Band, which I highly recommend watching, because James is actually a very good guy in there. Kevin released a channel trailer. He also released a review for Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which I
Watch
personally
that.
enjoyed.
You should.
In both English
You
and
should.
German.
Yeah.
Nazi and American. Good job, Kevin.
And
Nazi.
Mr.
Nazi.
Satterline released himself playing girly games. So if you want to be homosexual for a few hours, then go ahead.
If you want to see me slap Dora's butt, perform a cesarean operation on Elsa, and also going through Mountain Blade along with a...
I dislike that video.
Mayo. Anyway, my channel to see me
Alienite.
being retarded.
I said alien isolation there for the people that couldn't understand robot.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I am a robot.
It's Robo Satterline.
Yeah, he makes an appearance every once in a while.
Yeah, so...
Just bear with us, please.
And speaking of
Here's
bearing,
my-
we
here's my script.
should go into our list. So start us off. Top 5 worst
what
games
just
of all
happened?
time.
Hold up, guys. What just happened?
He'll be right back. So let's continue on. Top 5 worst games of all time. Come on, Mr. Kevin, you go first.
All right. Obviously, I really don't like Resident Evil 6 for the
Oh,
360 and I think PlayStation 3. I think it came out for the PlayStation 3. I did not like it. The second game that'd be on my list would be Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX 2 for the GameCube. Yeah, I'm going all the way back there.
Pretty way back.
yeah.
There's what's it called? Bass 64 for the Nintendo 64. See,
Are you sure it wasn't for the Commodore 64?
no, I have the cartridge right here.
I was being sarcastic. Calm down.
Yeah, Bass Hunter 64.
Hey, that's
I was
not a
given the
bad game.
No,
I
it's
was
not a
given the
bad game.
opportunity-
It's a bass game.
It's the bassest game.
I was given the opportunity to pick between Donkey Kong Country and Bass Hunter 64, and I picked Bass Hunter 64 because I thought it was a music game when I first got it.
Oh, subtle difference.
Were you gonna like hunt in music instruments or something?
Yeah, yeah. My fourth unfavorite game would have to be NHL 06 for the Nintendo GameCube.
Good job.
And then my number one least favorite game would have to be Pokemon X and Pokemon Y.
Oh, that's gonna be controversial.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a really nice and whatnot for the next generation, but it's more of a beta to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire.
Don't you know in this country you can get shot for having an opinion like that?
This is America, right?
Yeah, this is where you get shot for having unpopular opinions.
All right,
I'm not
Mr. Just
America.
James, your turn.
Just James.
All
you're,
right, top 5 worst games of all time. I think we'll start from 5. 5 would have to be Dave Mirra Pro BMX on PlayStation 1. And then number 4, probably I don't know, probably World of Tanks
World for 360
for PC.
PC.
Yeah, I'll go into that later if I do a review. Number 3, probably Lord of the Rings: Return of the King on PlayStation 2, just because it's a movie game. It's kind of an easy target.
Yeah, I guess so.
Number 2, Freak Style for PlayStation 2. And then number 1, and this is an extremely unpopular opinion, and I don't mind if I get flack for it, but this is just how I feel. I think League of Legends is an extremely shitty game.
Ooh, we're getting somewhere.
If League was kind of like Smite, the third person aspect of it, if it was like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think the whole MOBA platform and in that, I guess, game philosophy, I don't know. It's all dime a dozen now. Just like when World of Warcraft came out. Now every MMO follows that same kind of structure, similar to League. All the games that are coming out now after League, now that it's in the spotlight, or it's been in the spotlight, but since then every game is, they follow a lot of the core mechanics that League is using, which, some people would say, oh, well, Dota was the original, and yeah, Dota was popular, but, League kind of revitalized the whole MOBA scene, and I hate League for that. So that's my rant on League.
All right, Marcos.
Well, unlike you guys, I don't really hate too many games. So it's probably just the top 3. I think 3 starting off there would be Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the GameCube.
That's a game.
Yeah, like
That's a
I
game.
was surprised too, but I bought it off a friend because it came with WrestleMania and he didn't want it anymore, so I just got it with it. And I was trying to do a Let's Play for it for my channel, and I came into a game-breaking glitch, and I restarted 3 times the entire game, and I still couldn't get that past that part. The game is broken, so like I can't. No, I think number 2 would have to be, okay, here comes another unpopular opinion. Kingdom Hearts 1, which I just can't stand.
I never played it.
Did you want to say something?
Ask him, does he like the rest, but like just only Kingdom Hearts 1 he can't stand?
Oh yeah, I do. I love I love the entire series. I have all of them for like every single console. I just can't stand Kingdom Hearts 1 like for the life of me. I just can't.
That's very weird. Kingdom Hearts 1 is my second favorite. Kingdom Hearts 2 is my favorite.
I'd rather play Birth by Sleep than anything because that's my favorite. But Kingdom Hearts 1, the beginning is too slow. The controls are awful, and the gummy ship parts are just. I just can't. I don't even want to touch it anymore.
He understands now.
Yeah, I just can't. And
if you want to share the hatred, you could send that game my way.
I have two of them, so like go ahead, have one, have them all. But my number one would be Enchanted Arms for the Xbox 360. I have a bit of a story for that one, but I guess I'll say that for another time because it's gonna be way too long. So
Is that a hint? Is that a hint for a future video?
maybe another Marcos the Ornac review in the future. I don't know. Mr.
Top
Satterline.
3 favorite systems. Marcus? Take us off.
Oh, me
Right now.
first. Okay, fine.
Yes.
I'll just start from 3. I think 3 would have to be the Wii U, surprisingly.
Not surprised at all.
Oh, Wii U.
I mean-
Fucking Nintendo queer.
What? No. I promise my number 1 isn't a Nintendo system, and
Thank God.
I just love the Wii U's library and what you can do with it. It's just so cool. And number 2 would have to be
Me.
Your system?
my own favorite system.
Is that
number?
Are you trying to say that you get played a lot?
Oh.
That's
Oh.
just depressing.
Marcus, System of a Brown.
Oh my God! Stop!
System of a Brown.
There we go.
All right,
Perfect.
so let's just go to number 1, and I think my number 1 would be this thing here, which I always have on standby, my PSP.
Ooh.
Not the PS Vita. though.
No, not the Vita, the PSP, the original.
I like
the
the PSP
The
too.
OG.
Yeah.
The OG Sony
Dude,
abortion.
you could do so much with this. Like,
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
trying to get,
it's just-
you have an
it's
emulator on
crazy.
yours?
yeah, I have
On
almost
PSP.
everything on this.
It
I
can
used to have
fix
the
your
64
marriage.
emulator in my
Increase
portable.
your salary.
Dude, you can do so much with this. I love it.
Make your girl back to you. Give you a full grades in your next midterm exam. The PSP. Get one now.
Please
All right.
support them. So go.
Support.
Where's next?
Next up, James.
All right.
Go ahead.
Top 3 favorite systems. I think number 3. I don't know. Would you guys consider a computer a system? It's a gaming platform.
No.
Yes.
We honestly can't include computers because computers are by far the most superior thing in the can.
Uh,
So let's just
well,
take out
it's not.
computers.
It's not my favorite. PC's not my favorite. Okay.
PC
all
is
right.
the best.
Well, all right.
Says
So
the guy
top,
with the
top
Alienware.
3 excluding PC because apparently that's the best system ever made.
You know it.
Top 3. So number 3, PlayStation 2. No, doesn't need an explanation. Probably Nintendo GameCube because it had the best graphics in the generation. And number one
is the NES.
No,
Because
number
I'm a
one.
Nintendo
No,
fan.
no. Sega Genesis. Sega
Yes.
Genesis is my number 1 favorite system.
You're such an old fag. You're such a fucking old fag.
Dog, no, you have to
For
play.
real.
You have to play Shinobi 3 on
Dude.
Sega Genesis. That's like the
Stop.
only game worth playing on Sega Genesis, but it's the best.
I can feel myself getting older while you're talking.
Well,
You know, I can feel my hairs going wider and wider as you're
I
just
think-
progressing.
I think you might be high. It's not because I'm talking old to you.
It's not because I'm high. I'm pretty sure. Next up, Nazi. Koji official.
I
Go
think he's
ahead.
talking about you.
Yeah, black Nazi.
Um.
Oh my.
Okay, my top.
Tyrone,
3.
why did I tell you about joining those crazy?
He lagged. He lagged.
Just ignore Robo Sultan. He doesn't know. He doesn't know what's going on.
The
People-
joke was gonna be great too, but then it messed up. Okay, Waterline's done. He's dead. He can't revive anymore. So he can't bullshit at me.
He's
again.
he's frozen in time. He'll be back.
Go! Hurry before he comes
Okay.
back.
Number 3 would be the Xbox 360.
Go
Number 2 would be the Nintendo GameCube, and number 1 would be the Nintendo 64.
Nintendo 64.
Go home.
I am home.
No, you're not.
True.
Who even plays Nintendo anymore?
And Tyrone, why don't you say your 3 favorite consoles?
All right. My third favorite, this has to be my very first one, the NES. That thing was beautiful because no game ever broke on that. You just didn't blow on the cartridge hard enough. Next one would be.
I missed.
Whoa, don't cut off Tyrone.
Oh shit, Tyrone!
Don't cut off Tyrone. That's just rude.
Oh, don't get a drive-by done. No, the next one would be the 3DS, just because it is beautiful. It is beautiful. And the last one for me would be the PS3. The PS3 is my top favorite one. Just 'cause that's my main console.
My nigga, my nigga, my nigga, my nigga, my nigga, my nigga, my motherfucking nigga.
Those are his
Koji,
top
can you go?
favorites.
Koji, can you go and just leave the black man instead? He's a lot better than you.
Oh, here.
No, I got.
Have fun holding it.
I'm trying to
Ooh.
play Pokemon.
You guys are so romantic together though. Like,
You just hold
Like
it. I'm not
Koji.
gonna.
like
Don't
look
drop
at that.
it. Hold it.
I ship both of you together. Like I ship both of you together.
I ship it.
I ship it hard. I ship it so fucking hard.
Can you get out of this right now?
I ship it
I literally
worldwide.
have not made a move in like 5 minutes because of this. No, please get the fuck out of my face.
Lick his cheeks. Lick his cheeks. You know. I'm not even gonna mention which cheeks. Just lick them. Oh yeah.
Did he let you lick his cheeks?
Did it taste like
Alright,
chocolate? Did it taste like chocolate? I just gotta know. Did it taste like chocolate?
It does not taste like fucking chocolate.
Oh damn.
All right,
Marcus,
next subject
What
would
the
be
fuck are you doing? Marcus,
is
what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck is up with Marcus? What is he doing? Marcus, get the
Tyrone said
fuck
he
up.
fell down.
We jumped the shark.
Oh. Oh, fuck
Next
Marcus,
up would
alright.
be, is Pokemon not selling well?
Hey, what
That's
the
a
fuck? I
lie.
didn't get to go. I didn't get to go.
What?
Oh,
Hey,
screw
why
you
you
and
guys
your
so mean?
opinion. Screw you and your opinion. Should have gone first. Should have gone first.
Oh, hey, no.
Why
So,
don't you
anywho,
lag out again
yeah, I'll
so we
go.
can continue without you?
So
Alright,
Pokemon.
His favorite system
Alright,
is the
no,
middle finger
no,
because he likes
no.
to play with himself at night. Oh shit.
So
Motherfucker.
Pokemon.
Alright. No, shut the fuck up, James. It's my turn. Alright. Audience, my top 3 favorite gaming systems. And if you know me, you're gonna know what they are. PlayStation 1,
Go
PlayStation
home.
2, and PlayStation 3.
All right.
I'm done.
Sayonara.
Sayonara, Minasama. Nah, I'm a Sony fag. Like, I am legit a Sony fag. I grew up with all the consoles. That's
I should have
because
just
basically...
said, my favorite consoles are the DS, the DSi, and the 3DS.
Yeah, because you're a fucking Nintendo fag, you
Not
faggot.
not the Nintendo 2D? 2DS?
Yeah.
Why not? It's no worse than playing video games seriously on an iPad.
Anywho, Marcus, get the fuck up.
Hi.
Get the fuck up, man.
Alright, can we now move on
We're
since
doing a
PlayStation fag?
Please, let's move on.
no, I'm gonna continue. Right, now the reason why those 3 are my top 3 gaming systems
Do you know what
because
you
of the-
sound like right now, Sultan?
A Sony
Do you know
exec.
what you sound like right now, Sailor Lion? This
Sounds-
is literally you to every single PlayStation fan.
Hey.
gosh.
There's a valid reason why those...
Did you say valid or
Alright.
phallic?
Harder. Press the X button.
Yes.
Press my circles. Oh, don't forget the triangle. Oh my god, the box.
Did you say tri-angel?
Yeah, I said
Triangle.
triangle.
I like the triangle. The triangle is my favorite shape.
Well,
Anywho, no. The real reason why those 3 are my favorite gaming systems is because of the fact that those were the only gaming systems I had. You know, PS3, PS1, PS2.
That's a
Nerd.
lot.
Actually, I used to have the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, but that was when I was so young I didn't even remember. So yeah, yes.
All right, so
All right.
is Pokemon not selling well?
No,
I don't know. I haven't kept up with it. We have an informant.
Me neither. Kevin's like the only one who actually wants to talk about this. Let's skip it.
Alright, what you got?
Or this... We should have
No. See, here's the thing with Pokemon though. Like, all right, Pokemon is great and everything, and it was a huge chunk of my childhood and everything, right? but like it's become a fucking staple. Like always, there's a Pokemon game always out, and it's always the same thing, and it always fucking sells for fuck's
Gotta say
sake.
something here, Tyrone.
And people say that Call of Duty's bad.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't compare Pokemon to Call of Duty as far as how shitty the mechanics are, but there's a new Pokemon game at least every year or every year and a half.
Every 2 years, basically.
Yeah. And it's more or less the same.
Shit.
It's the same gameplay mechanics. They just add some frilly graphics.
To be fair, they kind of spice things up every game, kind of, because like Black and White had like triple battles, rotation battles, and stuff. But that's not really enough to like justify buying the games for like $40 each and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
The last time I bought a Pokemon game was Soul Silver, and it was just because my friends bought it.
Yeah.
And then once the novelty of that game wore off with the Pokewalker, it was just kind of like, well, I guess we can wait until the next Pokemon comes out. And the next game was Black, and I don't know.
Yeah.
None of us really continued with it.
No, it's literally Call of Duty, except like it's like Call of Duty because Call of Duty is basically same thing, different setting.
Pokemon
That's what
shooters.
Pokemon is. Yeah.
The
Go
Pokemon.
Pikachu use the AK-47.
To put it short, the change log between each game is very short.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If you rush the new ones, Omega and Alpha, it's an 11-hour gameplay without the last mission added to it.
Well, I'm kind of excited if they do remake the Sinnoh region because that's my favorite. But other than that, I think I don't really want to spend the full price on it in the first place. If I can go back and play Red, Blue, and Yellow for like free, as practically the same experience.
Right.
That's the issue though. I mean, as I said, will studios eventually will success eventually lead a studio to just lose all creative integrity?
Well, I think it's more like they can't because in the game industry especially, if you say if something works, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I think a lot of studios take that too deep into heart where they don't really want to fix anything else and just use the same formula over and over.
Right. Because it sells.
Yeah, pretty much.
They come out, then there's going to be a bomb-ass Pokemon after that. So once it flatlines, they're going to make something amazing to get everybody back.
Yeah.
Since it's one of their number one industries.
Yeah, but I don't see the Pokemon franchise really going on the decline. Maybe domestically, like in the United States, it'll decline, but still, there's such a huge market elsewhere that they don't really need.
It will never decline. It's like World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft used to have like 14 million subscribers. Now it's down to about 8 million or something. But it won't die.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll get hits, but it will never ever die. Why? Because it's a staple.
Right.
Pokemon has become a staple. There's just so much content. There's animes, there's movie, there's games, there's just merchandise. There's just too much. Pikachu is basically worldwide known.
Yeah.
Everyone fucking knows who Pikachu is. It's just over. It's game over. And see that's what sucks with game studios because eventually, like, okay, you want a studio to succeed, but you also don't want them to. Why? You want them to be basically stuck between immense financial success.
Hold that thought.
and
Hold that
ruin.
thought. I'm just gonna say this. Mega Man.
Mega Man has died, and he was the shit. Mega Man used to be the shit, and Mega Man died. What happened? Like, what happened to Mega Man? Did his games just like stop dying down?
Yeah, the creator was like, I'm fucking done.
See, that was
Nintendo,
it.
take my shit.
That was it. Like, he said he was done. If he had kept going, there's probably a Mega Man console.
He's doing Mighty Number 9.
So, like, I think, like, stuff like that, it's going to be over once the creators say, we're done with Pokemon, and they hand it to somebody else. Then they're just going to ultimately destroy it, and nobody's going to want this ripoff secondhand. That's when Pokemon's going to die, once they stop making it. Because I feel like they're going to keep going throughout the rest of the alphabet, and they're going to go to a different country's alphabet. It's just going to be, it's not going to stop.
Yeah.
Pokemon, Pokemon, Alice.
And I also think that, even if the creator of Pokemon was like, all right, I'm done, I'm out, like, there's enough people that have, work
The
with that
hacking
person.
community for this game is
Yeah,
great.
that too.
Yeah, well, it's been great. Like even the games that are on, NES, Super Nintendo, like there's hacked cartridges.
And to be fair,
Do you guys want me to be frank?
go ahead.
Like, I'll be completely frank. Like, I used to love Nintendo a lot back in the old days, But see, to me, Nintendo has died because of the simple fact where, like, I see it as basically just, it's nothing but, right, okay. The way that I see it is kids always grew up with Nintendo and all the consoles and everything, right? Yes, because of my ex also, no, but no, I'm speaking for real. No. But for real, see, here's the thing with Nintendo, all right? A lot of people grew up with Nintendo.
Yeah.
And their consoles and their games. It's just something all of us have done. But see, eventually, those same kids, which were playing it younger, want to play when they're older because of nostalgia. That's what Nintendo's basically doing. It's catering for basically the kids, which were... Shut the fuck up, Kevin. Basically, it's catering for the who were younger at that time. But see, here's the thing. It also feels like they're milking it really, really, really hard. Like, whatever Nintendo releases, it will sell. That's what I feel. No matter what happens, it will sell. Why? Because of the fanboys.
No,
Right.
That's literally why...
Nintendo has been pushing Bayonetta 2 like crazy, and even that hasn't sold well enough.
Yeah.
Well, because they don't have as big of a fan base for that game. Like pretty much everything Nintendo
Bayonetta
has
2
done.
is that kind of game where like kids go to sleep, I want to chill, play some Bayonetta.
Bayonetta was a great game. Like, they improved on its mechanics, kept everything that was great about Bayonetta 1, and it was just, like, truthfully, like, what could have been a game of the year, but, like, for some reason, everyone's like, nah.
Yeah.
But there's a new Pokemon coming out, and everyone's like, shit.
And that's going to win
Yeah,
awards.
yeah.
And then it's too much water, so nobody bought it, so that's why they're going down.
It only got a 7.8 out of 10.
See, this is my point, all right? As you said, Bayonetta 2 isn't selling, but see, here's the same thing. Pokemon is selling, and Pokemon, to be honest, is the same thing over and over. Pokemon...
But Pokemon established a name for itself. Bayonetta has no
Mario,
name for itself. It's like, let's release this platinum hits like, here we go, Xbox 360
Mario,
and PlayStation
Pokemon Mario,
3.
The Legend of Zelda. Pokemon Mario and The Legend of Zelda, they will never sell out. Ever. I mean, they'll never...
They'll never Legend of Zelda. So you can't say that there's never
I
been a
disagree.
bad Legend of-
I played
the
some of the games
closest one was
that I didn't
Skyward Sword, and that was just too much retread. They didn't make it
like.
big enough.
Dude, to be honest, I don't like the Legend of Zelda games. They're just not my thing. I'm not a fanboy. That's why that stuff doesn't stick to me.
It's like you don't have to be a fanboy to like it. It's just like some people like it, some people don't. Because like people love Skyrim. I play it, and I can never get past like the first. Well, you like after you see the dragon, I like walk around. I'm like, this is stupid, and then I'm like done with it. It's not because I'm a fanboy or I'm not a fanboy. I just don't like it.
No. Most people play it because they grew up with it. See, what the point I'm trying to get is most people actually play those games not because they like it, just because of the fucking nostalgia factor. I grew up with this game, I'm gonna buy it. Pokemon is an example, basically. Pokemon is the best example out of all of this because it's literally the same game over and over with different setting, with different Pokemon, with different stats and all that. Well, not really different. Some of them are really, really similar. And my point is, it just keeps selling and selling and selling. Sometimes it feels like whatever Nintendo shits out, people will buy because it's Nintendo.
Just like Capcom.
Basically.
You can't since Bayonetta didn't, so you can't say everything they shit out.
No, not everything, but some of it. Mostly the stuff that's done with nostalgia.
Yeah.
Mario, Pokemon, The Legend of Zelda. I'm gonna call it. What's that game with Seamus called?
Samus, the Metroid.
Metroid, you dipshit.
Like,
Seamus.
Metroid in forever.
Yeah, they have.
I call it
They haven't
Seamus.
released a
I don't
Metroid
call
game
it-
since Other M, and that was a few years ago.
But see, you get my point. Like, it will always sell because of the fact that people are just, they grew up with it and they don't want to they want to keep that part of their childhood there.
Well, not only that, but Pokemon's one of those games where it's, even if you don't have a clue what Pokemon is, you see it, you see the graphics, and it's a charming game.
It is.
You see these little creatures and you're like, oh, you can collect these? All right, I'll collect them.
I want to see them evolve. Oh, how cool this one!
Yeah,
look
like
me.
what happens when I do this? It's a charming game. it's really, really simple mechanics, and anybody could pick it up and have some fun if you're into that kind of
And
gameplay.
there's also Pokemon Showdown,
Yeah,
competitive
yeah.
battling for Pokemon.
Yeah,
Like, I know that TCG had a card game tournament and the game tournament.
yeah, and you can play casually and get to the end of the game, or you could take it in depth and be look up guides and everything for EV training and finding who the cheapest Pokemon are, and really really get involved into it. But it's one of those games where it can fall into the hands of pretty much anybody as long as they like that kind of game. They can pick it up and enjoy it. So on top of its fan base, it's also just a very accessible game.
I feel like it's like kind of like the post game in is what also makes it. Because if you want to, you could spend hours upon days. You can get your money's worth out of the game, even if it is kind of bad. You can get your money's worth out of
Yeah.
it.
Definitely.
Like Call of Duty. Like people don't really buy it for their single player. They play for that multiplayer where there's like hundreds of millions of people on there screaming and cussing, talking about each other's moms, just enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's so much. There's a lot of culture involved in Pokemon too.
Yeah, because Pokemon was one of the Nintendos that started it's one of its that's like started everything that everybody knows about.
Right.
And just like the remakes, like I don't think Omega Ruby did awful, but I feel like it could have done more from some of the people that like played the original and said, "Wow, this looks amazing, better than the original. Let's try this out and see how it looks." So that might have been what they mean by failed, because they thought it would do better than it actually did. Because most games have to say, "We think we're going to estimate and sell this many," and then they have to say if they met the bar or did it. But I don't think it's dying at whatsoever. Because there's people like you, Kevin, that just buy both of them and just take over from the people that don't buy. So it doesn't.
I mean, I just sold you X.
Yeah, he just sold me X.
I just sold him X for $25.
Oh man.
X is not worth $40 to $30. It's basically, like I said, it's a beta to what we got now.
And also, they made X and Y together, so now you can collect. If you have all four of them, or at least two of the other ones, you can collect almost every single Pokemon ever made in those two games. So that's another reason I think they made the new ones, so everybody can say, finally, I have a Master Pokédex, and I don't need 25 different games to collect it all and trade them over. And it's not bad. It's just the moment when they come out and they're like, you can tell they have no more ideas and that they're dying. That's when it's like, okay, now they're pulling shit out their ass. And then you're just going to be done.
Yeah, I feel you.
Sultan's gone.
Oh, State of Lion's gone. Shall we continue?
What's next? Handhelds dying?
Yeah, handhelds dying.
I want to start this off. Personally, I think consoles are dying way more than handhelds, because look at the 3DS and to a very big extent the Vita. The 3DS has sold millions. The library's great. You can do a lot more than just games on it, and Nintendo's not going to stop.
Well, when I wrote handhelds dying, my original plan was the PlayStation Portable and Vita versus Nintendo's handhelds.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Nintendo has... There's not even a race. Like, PlayStation is still at the starting lines. Their
Yeah.
PSPs did okay, and the Vita did not do well, and nobody's actually going out there and saying, I need to get me a Vita. Because there's, like, no games. That's the thing. There's a lot of games for it, like Danganronpa.
Danganronpa.
That's the only one I wanted to play on the PlayStation Vita, and I can just play it on your PlayStation Vita. There's no reason, and I've already seen the adaptation, so it's like there's no reason to buy this the whole handheld for it. That's the reason they're losing, because Nintendo is pumping so much. Whatever they pump onto their main console, they are also pumping onto the side console. Like, especially how they did it with Smash Bros. How they brought it out first for the 3DS and then brought it out into the Wii U. That was a perfect... I said the Wii U.
You said the Wii U.
No, you just heard... You just heard Mew U because you're...
Marcos, are you
reading
this? Make sure to slow that down.
Wii U and then brought it out into the Wii U. The Wii U. Wii U. Wii U. Wii U. It doesn't matter. I said Wii U. I don't care.
Either way, keep going.
But like basically how they brought it there, so everyone's like, "Wow, I can get this early on this handheld console," and then I can get on the main console. Because a lot of people were like, wow, I've been waiting for this Smash Bros. Forever. So then they're like, let me get it now. And if I want it on the Wii U later, I can get it on the Wii U. So it's just made it so that people want and still want to buy their side handheld and not their console or both of them. Because I've just bought the 3DS and because I wanted to play Smash Bros. But I didn't want to pay for a Wii U.
Yeah.
So now they got another one on there. So it's just like the way they're pumping it out makes it a lot better because the PlayStation isn't really doing anything for their side consoles.
Yeah.
And Sultan is back.
We're
I
talking
apologize.
about if handhelds are dying. But I want to go back to the Vita. Dude, I love my Vita. The only downside is that it has no games at all. Like, it can do everything a 3DS can and better, but there's no games for it.
You have to get like emulators for it to like make it work how you want it to work.
Oh, you can say emulators are the reason for handhelds dying.
Emulators are the reasons for handhelds
I guess
dying.
that too.
I have almost every single emulator on my phone. What do I need a handheld for when I have a phone with everything else on it?
And you can play.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah.
We just basically covered that whole entire segment right there.
Well,
just James, do you have anything to say that Tyrone and Marcos just said?
Yeah, well, I feel
I'll go
like
after him.
I feel like the main difference between Sony's handheld consoles or the portables and Nintendo is, well, basically the way Sony marketed the portables was take your PS3 games or your Sony games, you know, take them on the go with you, instead of creating, you know, and they didn't really create any notable franchises just for portables, whereas Nintendo is basically known for handheld franchises. So when they came out with their consoles, it was the opposite thing. It was play your handheld games on a big screen, and it's still enjoy the portables.
Yeah,
Both flop, to be honest. I mean, one flop,
if
one flop, one side
PlayStation's
of
not gonna
the-
put like Crash Bandicoot back into the games, put it on the handhelds for Christ's sake, you know?
Yeah, it's the perfect game to be on a portable, especially something like you know, a PS Vita or even just a regular PSP, because they can deliver, you know, pretty good graphics for being a portable.
To be honest, I mean, if they did that, they could have probably just solved the entire not having games issue. I mean, you could have Crash Bandicoot, you could have what do you call it? Spyro. Oh my god, I would love to play Spyro and Crash Bandicoot.
Any of the old remakes,
Yeah.
just like how we said, like nostalgia and everything for the Nintendo, how they're
It
staying
would
alive.
sell. It would sell.
It would all
Let's
just
be honest.
sell.
Yeah, I feel like the problem is that Sony just bit off more than they could chew. Like, if you're gonna go up against Nintendo, who's, you know, predominantly a handheld game developer, then, you know, obviously you gotta have your game on point, or else, you know, Nintendo's just gonna smash you. Even if the Sony game is better, Nintendo just has the better. They have, you know, notoriety.
Reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the reason why Sega ran out of the console war? Because of Nintendo? Like, Sega could not hold up against any of the new...
Especially at the
Right.
Dreamcast.
Yeah.
That was... The dream still lives on.
I mean,
Dreamcast 2, 2016.
I mean, see, here's the thing though. Like, I mean, like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo have basically established their own positions right now. I mean, Sony and Microsoft are known as basically being the called gaming systems with the TV and everything, while Nintendo's handhelds. And every time they've tried to basically go out of that niche, you know, their own place, they've had no success at all. So, you know, I mean, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because in one way, they each have their own special place, but then again, they can't give, you know, that sort of creative variety that you might want and need.
Yeah, and in my opinion, I feel like, you know, they're not making portables or you know, consoles for the home. They're not really making them to step out of their comfort zone. They're really just doing it to expand their market share. Because if they don't and they just stick with the same thing all the time, the consumer either gets bored or the market, you know, goes stale. And
that's a reality.
Right, and that's not a reality that I want to see in the video game industry because, if that industry implodes or whatever because everybody's trying to, gather up as much of the market share as possible, I feel like they would lose scope of what they're actually good at.
I mean, if you look at into the history of video games, basically, video games were never a thing in like the early ages when like you had early computers and everything, right? They were never
Yeah,
something.
Nintendo used to be like an actual company that didn't make
It used
games.
to be a card company and stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah. And here's the thing: the game market, even when it began, it was something so niche that no one wanted to invest in it, no one wanted to be in it, no one wanted anything to do with it, and now it's just huge. But there is the fact that it could crash like it did beforehand. I mean, there was a peak where games reached early on in like the late 90s. All right, not the late 90s. I mean the late I think it was 80s or 70s. It reached a peak because everyone wanted to join in, but then it crashed because of the consoles.
I think
Right now,
you're thinking of the late 80s, yeah.
yeah, but see, here's the thing. That might happen in a different form. And the form that I'm talking about isn't actually the gaming industry crashing down because of, no one wants to go in it. It's the creativity dying. That's the issue.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is hope because, I mean, like an example is the modding community. A Fallout Lone Star is a huge example of that. The fact that the modding community can do so much. I mean, they could do shit as well as the developer could for free. Now, what could that imply for a future in video gaming? That could actually imply free games becoming something really, really mainstream. I mean,
Yeah.
if you think about it, if a modder can do what a studio could do at the same level but for free, the modder's gonna find more success.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I feel like both the modding community and the indie developers that are just, coding out of their bedrooms basically or have a small team, I feel like they're going to be on the
It
next
is.
they're going to be on the next
Guys,
frontier
guys,
of gaming.
Guys, are we on console war or handhelds dying?
And
We're
Console
basically
war.
going.
Because this was the smoothest transition we've ever had.
we're basically going into console wars, but keep going, James.
Well, it was pretty smooth, but yeah, like I was saying, I think in the next 5 years or sooner, we're gonna see a lot more indie developers hitting the scene with either free games or they'll be tagged on with certain certain consoles. So like more of an incentive to use a PS3 or now PS4. Because PlayStation Plus, I feel like, has definitely encouraged a lot of people to try games that they wouldn't otherwise play because they have free games every month or every week, whatever. And so I think if more game delivery systems use that idea of free games or something new to check out, then that gives indie developers a chance to compete with the big companies.
I mean, but see, here's the thing. You're saying 5 years from now. I'm saying it's already here. That the whole indie games are mainstream. Stop looking at the camera and laughing, you son of a bitch. All right? What I'm saying is, I mean, the whole indie becoming mainstream has already happened. Minecraft has become so huge that I mean, it's exploded so big. Well, I know, exploded so big. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it's become so huge that Minecraft has become a staple right now in the whole indie development, and indie development has become something so normal that it's just it makes me happy, but then again it also makes me feel doubt due to the whole. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys know about Gamergate and the whole scandal in indie development, how all of indie journalism was basically. The thing is, they found that all of gaming journalism was basically connections. Literally all of it. Everything was biased, down to the very core. Like, the corruption was so fucking deep. It just blows your mind. It wasn't even Zoe Quinn anymore. Zoe Quinn was nothing but a small fry in the end. No one even knew that. Like, is it a good thing or a bad thing? Because, I mean, indie developers and actual developers have become separate entities. They're not the same. Sure, they both develop games, but the indie community and the developer community are just separate beings at this instance. Because the corruption was basically all in the indie community, not in the game development community. It was all in the indie community. And it was so fucking deep-rooted that none of us even realized it until the whole Zoe Quinn thing.
Remember back in the day when we didn't have to worry about being called on by the SWAT team when we played games?
Yeah.
It's like in the like if we ever have a live stream, it's just like, Sailorline is here. He's not even in America, and it's like next thing you know, it's just like the Quran, the Quran bombing the house, and it's just like, and we just play like, rest in peace.
And then it's like,
that should be anytime he lags out. And he just come back.
Anytime he logs out, yeah.
I made it back.
don't worry, guys. It wasn't the Quran Patrol. It was just my shitty internet.
The
Console
Quran
wars,
Patrol.
it's just like, isn't that like how Nintendo and Sony, like how Sony got into the tried to get into the handheld? It's more of like, I'm not mad that they tried to do it when they weren't ready, because they also gave Nintendo competition. They're like, whoa, we just can't send out these, like, because they started out with these slow titles, and the PlayStation Vita was getting a lot of boom at the beginning of it. So then they started bringing out some of their harder titles like Mario, some new Pokemon, and it made them step their game up to show them, well, you're not ready for this. But also it helped us out by giving us better games and more fun to play.
It gave us an alternative, because at that point...
Kevin, turn on the lights. I can't see your friend.
He's my shadow.
Turn on the... What do you think?
Okay, see, Nintendo was all like, excuse me, Sony, you're not gonna knock us out like we knocked out Sega. That's not gonna happen.
But to be honest, they could have. Here's the thing: it's the fact that it was actually a threat. You know,
I mean,
if they had more games, they could have sucked in a huge chunk of the Nintendo market.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, Sony wasn't ready. They kind of like burst it open too soon before they were like, okay, they probably just like thought they had it, and then like Nintendo shut them down real quick and said, no, not in my house. And just slapped it all down and just threw everything.
Nah, son.
And like Xbox didn't even step in there because like they were too focused on the Xbox One trying to fix all their problems after like their E3 and the development and after their stocks fell and all that. They're like, no, we can't go out yet. We have to focus on our console, which is why theirs is kind of strong. I still say PlayStation is a little bit better. But now that they're focusing on the Vita and the PlayStation 4, you can see like there's a lot of errors coming out on the PS4 and there's a lot of errors coming out with the Vita. So now they're trying to balance two. And they're not really focusing on one strong one, so they're starting to fall off a bit. Nintendo's staying more on their 3DS while still pushing a little bit onto the Wii U, which is why their 3DS is getting most of their sales and why they're still pretty strong. But right now, there's no clear determinant of one that's about to fall off or one that's about to get kicked out, because there's still one thing that they all have that's keeping them above the other. Like PlayStation's keeping their free games and their more game selections. Xbox is keeping their...
free month two... free games with gold every single month.
But that's like, you still have to spend a lot more money, and Xbox also keeps its
exclusives.
Call of Duty exclusives. That's what's keeping them alive. Nintendo has their handheld, which is keeping them...
Everything's exclusive on Nintendo.
And
well, like, I'm just saying, their handheld and their exclusives for their handheld are keeping them alive. So right now, there's not one dominant. There's not a monopoly, like someone's already won. It's still a hard battle, and I don't think sooner or later there's going to be one person that's going to come in with competition that nobody's going to be ready for, the one that masters everything. Once that person comes in, it's going to be over, and that's just going to be the console. But it's going to take a while for someone to actually get all the components right and going together.
Yeah.
This is where we play the song.
The Quran Patrol got him.
So let's wrap this up, guys. All right, since Sailor Lion is not here, this was a podcast of the controllers. We have Just James, Marcos from W Time. I am Koji Official, and this is Tyrone, who is a subscriber and not who doesn't get subscribers. And Satterline is joining in just as we're about to finish.
Should we re-record the outro? Just
Bye.
bye.
We're not